Good morning, fellow Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Clap once if you can hear me. Clap once if you can hear me. There we go. Now we're all awake. I call this meeting of Lake Bay Toastmasters Club 6440 to order. Before we proceed, please silence your cell phones. Hadi. Okay. I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Our club mission is to provide a supportive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. As you can see this morning, I do not match. I did not wake up early. As a matter of fact, I was in a bit of a rush, more of a real hurry. But today I would like to introduce our Toastmaster, who will keep this meeting on track, I tell you, quite surely. Please help me welcome Alexandra.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm truly honored to be your Toastmaster this morning. Today is a memorable one. Why? Because we will be conducting installations of our club officers. Our theme today is Professional Toastmasters Interesting Facts. Before we begin with our theme, let's introduce our technical table, starting with our grammarian, Stephanie.
Good morning, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. The role of a grammarian is twofold. First, to introduce the word of the day to encourage wider vocabulary use. And the second is to note improper use of the English language as well as the exceptional use of the English language. The word of the day is superfluous. It's an adjective. Meaning is being more than is sufficient or required, excessive, unnecessary, or needless. The sentence, the grammarian's adherence to reporting every single speaker's linguistic slips was both superfluous and annoying. I'll be listening for the correct use of the word. If you speak and do not, it's 25 cents. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. What about our timer? Go, David.
Thank you. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. My function is to time the speakers today and the evaluators' note table topics. To ensure that they meet the timing requirements, I will demonstrate the timing light, which will be displayed as follows. 3 speakers, you have 5 to 7 minutes. 2 evaluators, you have 2 minutes. You will see the green.
8 to 10. They're all listed as 8 to 10.
8 to 10. Wow, long speeches. My apologies. Thank you, Stephen. 8 to 10 minutes. And then we will, when it's 5 minutes. 8 minutes, green. 9, yellow. And when you do not be superfluous. When you see. Thank you very much for the help.
Thank you, God. And our out counter this morning earns. Tell us what is that out counter?
Like always, the out counter is not a superfluous position within Toastmasters. It's a very important one. As out counter, it is my function to listen for the use of filler words such as you know, so, okay, and other audible pauses as fillers. I will be noting if members perform any double clutches, which means to say things twice, such as this means, this means, this means. Finally, I will also include things which might be distracting, such as lip smacks. I will present my report in the evaluation portion of the meeting. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you, Ernst. We need to make a tiny change on the agenda. Our speaker number 1, she will be speaking from the advanced manual, Speak to Inform. Manual project number 1, the Speech to Inform. And the title is Quality versus Quantity. That's the only change on the agenda. Being a professional and fantastic Toastmaster isn't just about standing there and uttering superfluous instructions in a loud voice. There is a lot more to it than that. I have compiled some interesting facts to give you a perspective on what it means to be a professional Toastmaster. Number 1, don't overdo humor. Humor is a necessity for any party toast. However, your goal should be to have people laughing, not to be the center of the attention. Using a party to try out your stand-up routine is not recommendable. Remember, these are professional Toastmasters. Number 2, etiquette as a professional Toastmaster. Toastmaster etiquette has evolved and changed with time. However, one thing that has stayed constant is that the host of the party should be the one to make the initial toast. Number 3, being toasted and drinking. When you are being toasted, it is a bad etiquette to drink when everyone else does. In essence, this is the equivalent of patting yourself on the back. If you are being toasted, then it is best to just say thank you and wait until the toast is over to drink. This begins our first part of the meeting designed for prepared speeches. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce our first speaker this morning. She will be speaking from the advanced manual, Speak to Inform. Manual project number 1, the Speech to Inform. Quality versus quantity. Please join me welcoming competent communicator and our former president, Erika Benfield.
Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and no guests this morning. Just feedback. Quality versus quantity. I'm sure you're probably wondering, where is this going? Well, there's an age-old saying that customers will come back if the product is fantastic, even if it's superfluous to have it. Jonathan Ive, the head designer at Apple, is a master at this concept. By simply replacing the cheap plastic exteriors of its computers with sleek airbrushed aluminum and minimizing the amount of visible screws, he set his products miles above the competition. And there is a premium today for the, as we call the Apple Premium. People lined up for the futuristic looking products such as the iPad, iPhone, iMac. How many of you in this room have one or more of these products? There's the super plus in this.
Superfluous. Superfluous.
Superfluous.
Superfluous.
That's not going to work. Keep trying. Now, my mother taught me a lesson a few years back that I'm going to share with you on this topic of quality versus quantity. There is a book by Ruby Payne that is called The Framework of Poverty. How many of you in this room have actually read this book or heard of it? Wow, this is why Toastmasters exist, to broaden your horizons. So in the framework of understanding poverty, Ruby Payne speaks about 4 main categories to help us understand why people react the way that they do. And I'm using my notes because I want to make sure I stay in the right sequence. For possessions on the poverty level, people are the most important. That's why you'll see on a bus the mom get in there and fight for the kid, or the gangs go crazy over somebody saying something about their mama. Middle class, things are possessions, and therefore the credit card companies will go after them because they want to reach another level. So things are possessions in the middle class. And the wealth, one of a kind, pedigree is most valued, and that's where I sometimes come into play in my profession. Being an interior designer, I cater to those that want something outside of the norm. They want something custom for their interiors. Money on the poverty level is used or spent, middle class to be managed, wealth necessary to make and maintain to be invested. Education on the poverty level valued in an abstract way, middle class, crucial for success or money making. We're talking about education here. And on the wealth level, necessary to make and maintain connections. So as you can see, even though we all value education, it's looked at in different ways. When it comes to quality versus quantity, every tier on the economic platform values people, money, things very differently. And in Toastmasters this year, I want to say that although our numbers down to the end struggled a little bit on the numerical members, the quality of this club is far more superb than it has been in its last 10 years. And I'm not saying that in the previous years they weren't strong enough. I'm just boasting to say that this year alone we have the most achievements in record time. We pretty much received our credentials to receive President's Distinguished Award by the beginning of this year. That means we had more than 4 competent communicators, we had more than 4, or we had 4 ACs, 3 or 4?
2.
Did I get it wrong?
2.
Okay, well I have a paper around here. Let me grab that real quick.
2 are required.
2 are required. So we had 6 competent communicators. We had 3 advanced communicators. So I'll go through the names. The 6 competent communicators were myself, Alexandra, Diane Manikowski, Stephen Morgan, Ernst Urbanchik, and Jessica Ruschke. The advanced communicators were Stephen Morgan, Gus Davies, Stephanie Bonnie Byrne,
And Alexandra.
As of last night. We were typing those in. Leadership Awards, Stephen Morgan, Competent Leader. Alexandra Balda, Competent Leader. Diane Manikowski, Competent Leader. Diane Manikowski, Advanced Leader Bronze. Alexandra Balda, Advanced Leader Bronze. Stephanie Bonnie Byrne, Distinguished Toastmaster. New members, we had a total of 14 as of last night. So we achieved our President's Distinguished Toastmaster level. And therefore, quality versus quantity. It's not always about having the most numbers. It's about having a group that works deep within. And if you want to ensure that you stick to it, get involved. Sign up for an officer role for the upcoming year so that you're guaranteed to have retention and continue to grow and broaden your horizon, because the more you come, the more you get to experience. And it has truly been a pleasure, sometimes a little bit of a struggle to be here, but I couldn't be any more prouder. And I think that you'll find our next coming president, you think you're going to go in it to make a difference, but what you get back is more impactful than you could ever give. But I thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to this upcoming year.
1 minute up. Our second speaker has been a Toastmaster since 2009. In fact, woohoo! In fact, Lake Mary Toastmasters was his first club. Yay! Obviously, it was a great experience for him because he's still with Toastmaster. Our speaker is the outgoing Area 70 governor, and he's here this morning to preside over our officer installation for the upcoming year. Please join me in welcoming John Zelinsky.
Thank you. It seems like it's been a long time since I was here, which actually has been a long time. 2009 is when I started as my very first club lecture to say. And I didn't quit yet, so I guess that says something. It's a good club, obviously. It's really a great club. It's, you guys have God bless. To be this chirpy at 7:30 in the morning,
As
long as I have 2 or 3 cups of coffee, I guess I'm okay with that. But I was telling Gus I need like 2 or 3 to get my heart started.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, will the outgoing officers please stand on top of the table? Oh, no. Maybe give them a hand, right? Well, okay, on behalf of Toastmasters International and District 84, no, I didn't memorize this, I thank all of you for your accomplishments and salute you for your service. You are now discharged. I know some of you are probably saying, oh darn, right? From all further duties, holy cow, and responsibilities as officers of Lake Mary Toastmasters.
As of
today, midnight today.
12:01.
12:01 a.m.
3 a.m.
Is
tomorrow
that
morning.
Eastern time or Central?
Pacific.
Okay,
So
you
we
still have a
can
few
celebrate
things to do.
until then.
I guess officially, you can sit down. Thank you very much, guys, the girls. New officers now. Oh, by the way, we don't have any pins, so I guess we can't afford it.
We just order it later.
Well, I saw.
You can come back.
Steve had sent me the video from last year when Mary Carroll was here, and she was pinning on officer pins. So we don't have to go. Yeah, if you look at that, you'll that's what that was. But we don't have to go through that. Okay. New officers, when I call each of you, please come forward and stand to the right, which is over here. A flat turn. Sergeant at Arms Samuel Bailey. Treasurer Ernst Urbanczyk. Secretary Alexandra Ball. Vice President Public Relations Stephen Morgan. Okay, Vice President of Membership Carrie Bird. Vice President of mentorship. That's a new position here. Nope. I gather Stephanie Bonnie Byrne. Vice President of Education, Gus Davies. And Incoming President, Julia Kaufman.
Four more positions?
Any more
I'll all
positions?
stand up there.
Pretty much, yeah. Do we have oh, here it is here, okay. I'm here to install the officers of Lake Mary Toastmasters and prepare them for the challenges ahead. Their collective challenge is to make this club strong and dedicated to helping people from all walks of life. To listen with sensitivity, I think you guys do that, right? Think creatively, out of the box, and speak in an effective manner. As I briefly describe the responsibilities of each officer, I'll ask him or her to hold this gavel as a symbol of leadership. Sam Bailey, The duties of Sergeant at Arms are to reserve the meeting space with the proper authorities, make sure that all supplies and materials are properly distributed or displayed at the meetings, greet guests and members, and call the meeting to order at the scheduled time. I give you this gavel as a symbol of this charge. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
If I must.
Yes. Okay, that's good enough.
Yes.
Please pass the gavel to the treasurer. Thank you. Ernst, the duties of the treasurer are to take the money and hand it to me, okay? I guess that's not it. Sorry about that. The duties of the treasurer are to collect the dues from the members, send the dues and the membership renewals reports to Toastmasters International, right? And pay the club's expenses. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Thank you. Please pass the gavel. There you go. Am I blocking anybody's view here? Okay, that's too bad. Alexandra, the duties of the secretary are to keep an accurate record of the members, submit the officer list to Toastmasters International after the election, keep the club charter, constitution, bylaws, and minutes. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes.
Thank you. Pass the gavel to the Vice President of Public Relations. Steve, the duties of the Vice President of Public Relations are to promote the club to the local media, spread the word about membership programs, and attend Toastmasters events. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Thank you. Please pass the gavel to the Vice President of Membership. Carrie, as the Vice President of Membership, your duties are to conduct ongoing membership building programs, explain the educational program to prospective members, and ask them to join, and follow up on new members and absent members. That's one of the key ones, they're absent members. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
Yes.
Thank you. Wait a minute. You want to do, oh, yours, okay. But VP of Mentorship, is that something that's new to your club? No? Let's do it. Well, I haven't seen that.
Official TNT.
That's what I thought, okay. The duties of VP of Membership are simple. Will you do these? Never mind. Oh, you have that. I better watch it, right? The duties of VP of Membership, we hold that for, give that to somebody else, are simple yet essential to the orientation and retention of new Toastmasters, obviously. You will be responsible for assigning mentors, which are seasoned Toastmasters, to every new member, in an effort to ensure they become thoroughly acquainted with our education and leadership programs. Upon their request, you may also pair up club members with mentors for the honing and perfecting of their skills. In addition, it'll be, well, I got a lot of things to do here. In addition, it'll be primarily your responsibility, along with VPE and club president, to set guidelines and arrange training for mentors. Do you accept this role and duties as I've stated clearly? Thank you. You're supposed to say I do, right?
I do.
Okay. Gus Davies.
Yes, sir.
The duties, let me read this again, of the Vice President of Education are to plan successful meetings to help members achieve their educational goals, orient new members to the Toastmasters program as soon as they join, and monitor members' progress. Will you perform these duties to the best of your ability?
I will.
Thank you. Julia Kaufman, having been elected, wow, as president of the club, you are its chief executive officer, CEO, and will be expected to preside at all meetings and at all regular and special meetings of the executive committee. It's your challenge to see that this club enables its members to achieve their educational goals. It's also your challenge to see that your club helps the area, division, district, and Toastmasters International to meet their goals. Please accept the gavel as a symbol of your leadership and dedication to the office. The gavel is a symbol of power. Don't give that to her anymore. And authority. Given by the membership of this club. Use it wisely and whack people as necessary, with restraint. You are a member of your team and also a leader, of course. A team is more than a collection of people. It's an emotional force rooted in feelings, thoughts, and actions of all members, with the common goal of achievement, sharing, and mutual support. Work with your team members to create a healthy, dynamic club, which this club is. A club which everyone will be proud. Will you, as president, accept this challenge and perform the duties to the best of your ability?
I do.
Thank you. It's now my pleasure to declare these Toastmasters installed in the offices to which they have been elected. Okay, what else we do here? Well, everyone please stand. The growth and development, let me stand over here if I may, of the Toastmasters program in Lake Mary Toastmasters depends largely on the actions of this group, this whole group, not just the officers. On your honor, as men and women of Toastmasters, will you pledge to individually and collectively stand by this club, live with it, and work with it throughout the coming year?
Yes.
Thank you. I wish your club a very successful year. I'll now turn control over to President Jody Kaufman after I do the introduction. Good job, good job. Watch Stephanie with that, yeah.
Mr. Champagne.
That's what we need, a little champagne.
It's amazing, yeah.
That's right, it is bubbly.
Yeah, top fork, right? The new year for Toastmasters begins, guess what, tomorrow, right, July 1st? As we look back at our successes and challenges and thank our current officers for their leadership, let's also look at our future of what next year holds. Our incoming President, Julia Kaufman, will share her vision for the Lake Mary Toastmasters for the upcoming year. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Julia Kaufman.
I remember when you joined Toastmasters.
Oh, boy.
I only joined a few years prior. So thanks for being here
2
and
years.
installing
It's fun. It's a fun club.
and honoring the club.
Like 5 years.
Thank you.
Indeed it is. I love the quote, "Life is about the journey, not the destination." 11 years ago, I joined Toastmasters and started my journey, not knowing where it would lead me. I just knew I wanted to be a better speaker. I didn't have a GPS. So it took me 11 years to get here, but what a journey it was. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and no guests. I'd like to share my vision with you as your president for the next year so that we again can become President's Distinguished Club, as we should because of the members that we have, the quality of our membership. So today I'd like to go over and talk about the Distinguished Club program. So we're all clear as to really what it is and what it means to be a distinguished club. At a glance, here's our Distinguished Club program. To become distinguished, there's 10 milestones. This is our roadmap to get us to where we need to go. At the very minimum, to become a distinguished club, you have to earn 5 distinguished points. To get to select, you have to earn at least 7, and to become presidents, you have to earn at least 9. Of course, we earned 10, right, Rich? You're all about goals. So let's talk about what that really means to earn that, so that we can set our GPS and earn it once again this year. The first milestone is to earn 2 Competent Communicator Awards, PENs. You get another point, another milestone at another 2. So that's 4 Competent Communicator Award, or PENs. The third milestone is to get your Advanced Communicator Award, whether it's bronze, silver, or gold. That's a point, that's a milestone. The next milestone is 1 more. The 5th milestone is to earn the Competent Leadership Award, whether it's your first level, your bronze, your silver, or gold, which then leads to Competent or your Distinguished Toastmaster Award. So that's milestone 5 and 6. Now 7, membership. Membership is where we need to really focus our attention as well, just to make sure we have a thriving club and we're bringing new members. That's a point. That's milestone 7. Milestone 8 is another 4 members. So a total of 8 members throughout the year, which should be very easy to do because of the club where we meet and how dynamic this club. And milestone 10 is to make sure, and this is from an administrative standpoint, is that we put in our awards, that we put our membership, that we pay our dues. That's where everybody's involved in making sure we pay our dues on time. So those are the 10 award milestones we need to earn in order to become a distinguished club. Think we can do it?
Yes,
Yes,
you
we
can.
can.
Absolutely.
Now that brings me to the handout that I passed out. I am a absolutely firm believer that people have dreams, but dreams don't become reality unless you set a goal. And goals don't become reality unless you write them down. So this handout is your GPS, which means goals, plan, and schedule to make what you dream, what your goals are, happen in the next incoming year. So if you take a look at it, you can't set your GPS until you know why. So the big question you need to ask yourself is, why are you here? Why did you join Toastmasters? What brings you to this club? What do you want to accomplish? You get up early to come to this meeting. You pay dues. You pay premium dues to be here. We have nice coffee and danishes, but it's at a price. So what is it you want to accomplish to make sure that you get to the point that you want and that you're maximizing your time here? Once you know why, the rest is easy. You set your GPS. What's your goal? So think about what you want to accomplish between July and next June, this fiscal year, 2015, 2016, and write it down. And then plan it out. What's your plan to get there? Let me give you an example of what I have planned. My goal, well, first is, why am I here? I'm here going on 12 years. What keeps me here? I continue to want to be a good speaker. I still get red in the face. I still get nervous getting up here, but I have grown tremendously. I love getting up in here and trying to perform as a better speaker, to get my message across, to have an impact with what I have to say. It's helped me in my work. I got promotions through work because of Toastmasters. I'm here to stay mainly because of the folks that are in this room. I love hearing what you have to say. I learn from each and one of you. That's why I'm here, and to become a better leader. How can I, through leadership skills, learn to have an impact and to influence others, to help my community? That is what drives me. What's my goal for the incoming year? Well, I'm going to work on the Competent Communicator Manual. It's interesting to go back and start that book again, because the first time around, you're kind of like a deer in headlights. You're just going through the speeches, but now I'm more focused. So when I start that icebreaker, I'm more focused on how I want to deliver it. When I start the next one to organize my speech, it's just really sharpening the skill, sharpening the saw, right? I also want to earn my Competent Leadership Award. I want to give this club credit to earn one of these points. And I want this club to be President's Distinguished. How many years now have we been President's Distinguished?
About 13 out of the 14.
And out of my leadership,
Wow.
it's not going to happen, right?
Yeah,
So we're
no.
going to get President's Distinguished. How am I going to do it? What's my plan? Well, I need to complete 9 speeches. I need to bring my Competent Leadership Manual to every meeting so I can get credit in that book. And I need to make sure that we have the compass on where everybody's at, so that we can all help each other. We can hold each other accountable for the goals that we set to make sure that you are able to achieve what you want to accomplish. From a leadership standpoint, that's my goal, and that's my plan. And at the bottom, there's a calendar at a glance to help you plot it out. So in order to do the 9 speeches, when do I need to give those speeches? Well, I set my course to do one every month, to be able to present every month, and also to continue to work on the Competent Communicator at every meeting. That's my plan. So take a few minutes now to look it over and at least start and answer the question, why are you here?
Anybody want to share your whys? Can I ask for volunteer? Stephen, you've been here a long time. Why? Why
you still here?
Yeah, what the hell are you still here?
What's your why?
The why? Which why? Because there's two questions there. Which
The
one?
first one.
Why did I initially join 17 years ago?
No, he's still here.
Recognition and accomplishment.
Okay, and what keeps you here?
But it keeps me here. So what do I want to accomplish?
Yes.
I want to be able to improve lives.
Nice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to share? Ernst?
I want to improve my speaking skills so I can give presentations and speeches to a large audience of people. We have a business, we've been here in Lake Mary for many years, and I have the opportunity to speak in front of people, and in order for me to do a better job, this is the best way to learn it. In fact, I was just thinking that I know I could give presentations to a company who is part of Rotary Club and ask if they want to join, Toastmasters, and I think that's one way of
Bringing in.
soliciting people. It would help me as representing our company, but also would help Toastmasters. I started with Erika's company, give a presentation there. No, I know other people, other companies, larger ones, and I think that would be a great way of improving my speaking skills.
We should do a speech
Yes,
at Rotary
absolutely.
about Toastmasters.
That
Let's get
would
on
be
the
awesome.
list. I think that would be great.
That's right.
We'll bring our president.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love to hear you guys.
And we have the way of
Yeah.
soliciting or exposing the club to a lot of people.
Yeah,
We have over 100 members.
very cool. That would be great. So, yeah, sign me up.
Sign
and
us
let's
up.
Okay,
I'll go. That'd be
absolutely.
great.
Awesome. Anybody else want to share? Sam, you're one of our newest members. What brought you to Toastmasters?
Well, originally, what brought me to Toastmasters was my cues. We were sitting there in our behavioral analyst class, or modified behavior, and they were telling us about this club that would help improve public speaking. The professor there, he would let the students go and read the books on their own, but when they were in class, he primarily focused on public speaking. And it was something that I thoroughly enjoyed, and when they told us about this, I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot. But when I saw how much more this club truly was, it became how to formulate connections as well as to critique myself, to become a better individual, and to truly make a difference. Now I'm going to be giving a sermon to a youth group this coming Thursday. I've given speeches at work when no one else was willing to. And I've been able to go up in front of large crowds without hesitation, without anything ever being planned, because of table topics and because of the speeches that I've done here. So
Wow.
thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So as you set your GPS, it says that ripple effect, because as you earn your rewards through Toastmasters and sharpen your skill sets, we're thriving as a club as well, and we're learning from each other. I look forward to being your president this year, serving the club. I want to thank Erika so much for your leadership. I've learned a lot from you. You are a true leader, and thank you very much for leading the club to once again to be President's Distinguished. I will hand the wonder back
Thank you, Julia. 1 minute for evaluations. What minute off? Still? I don't see
Not yet, no.
No, yet? Okay, I don't see the clock.
Yeah, I am the one that have the time.
Okay.
I have to stop. You got me there.
Yeah. Put it straight.
Mom can see that.
Stand up for yourself.
Yeah. I'm watching my time.
Thank
Thank you. We now move to the third part of the meeting, perhaps the most important portion devoted to our evaluations. This is where participants of our meeting up to this point get immediate feedback from our peers so we could become better speakers. Please help me welcome in our General Evaluator, Stephen Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. We skipped up on table topics today so that our speakers would have plenty of time. We only have 2 evaluations of the 3 presentations, so we'll have a little bit extra space available, but I'm sure we'll find a way to fill it nonetheless. Beginning first with the evaluation of our outgoing president's speech, we welcome back after a long hiatus. Hadi, please come forward.
Hadi.
Thank you. It's great to be back. I'll jump right to it. So,
Speaking next.
Erika, so quantity versus quality. I would say that overall, this speech reminded me why I love Toastmasters so much. I found the speech extremely heartfelt, and the sincerity and the calmness and confidence that you showed up here gave me something to aspire to and to develop in myself. The speech was to inform, and you gave us a specific example of how the different categories of poverty and how in Toastmasters we learn different things. So you outlined about the different categories and how in Toastmasters we learn different things. I thought that area was very well structured, and I thought that the speech was very engaging. So you tapped on the podium, you asked us questions, you were very calm and confident even when you had to refer to your notes or get that sheet of paper. I think that you were able to maintain control. In terms of areas to improve, I'm not a morning person, so I love strong openings to jolt me awake. And I think that it took maybe not long, maybe 20, 30 seconds to get to an engaging opening. So that's when I started to, okay, wake up and be there. But I would have loved just a strong oomph to, pop me out of La La Land. I thought that you varied the tonality a lot, which helped keep the speech engaging, and you maintained eye contact with everybody. I thought that was great. Let's see. Yeah, so also to improve, I think less reliance on notes would have been effective. There were a lot of statistics there, so I know it was difficult to do so, but the more you would have kept in, I think the more you would have been able to be engaged with us. But overall, I agree with Joya. I think you're a great leader, and I think the speech was really heartfelt and engaging, and I liked it. Thank you.
Pretty fast, and Hadi's already set to speak next week. And then evaluating our incoming president's speech, Julia, who's been around quite a while. So of course we assign her the newest member to evaluate. You're up there.
Well, as y'all know, this is not the first time you have done this to me. The first time I ever had somebody was Steven. So this seems to be a little superfluous at this evaluating curves. The purpose of this speech was for the speaker, as a manager, to deliver a 8 to 10 minute briefing to employees or associates to explain, instruct, persuade, or report. And in this case, she was giving a report as to what we will be coming into for the next year. And I would say she did a very excellent job at that. You came up here, you had 2 visual aids, not one. One's for us to maintain our eyes on you, and the other, if we start to drift off a little bit, we could just look back and refocus
as to what our goals were. When you came in, you gave a little bit of a backing, which was one of the points on here, so excellent job on that, as well as the questions. I was a little intrigued how you did it at first. The reason for it is because I was expecting people to be asking you questions. But when you came on out here and you started walking around and put those things in front of us, it redirected the speech to where it was now us having to answer you, which from a managerial standpoint, that was excellent. So good job on that. Especially when it was hesitation. You didn't. If someone was not willing to volunteer, you immediately grabbed key people or people whom you thought would be competent enough to speak and do it well to keep the meeting flowing. You wrapped it up at the end with that little piece of paper there for us to take home, so it'll be something for us to remember. If there's a way that anyone has to do a staff meeting, that is the example you should follow. Excellent job.
Now, John, yours presentation was scripted. It was simply the installation of the officers, not an actual speech project, which is why we didn't have the evaluator for you.
That's cool. I'm good with that.
The only feedback I would have with that one is that using the script perfectly fine, since it was stapled in the corner and you were constantly flipping it, that was causing you a bit of difficulty at times. All I can say there is, unstable it, arrange it so that you're set for that. But on the other hand, throwing in the humor where it wasn't scripted in there was very helpful, although I might suggest avoiding Stephanie as long as she's holding the gavel.
Do a no caution sign on that one.
Or you might find yourself becoming superfluous along the way.
There you
go. Thank you for coming and doing that for us. I will ask our technical table for their feedback, beginning first with our timer. Gus, how did we do with our...
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. This is the superfluous report. Erika, you have 8 to 10 minutes. You took 6 minutes, 52 seconds within time. John, you had 8 to 10 minutes, and you took 10 minutes and 12 seconds. And with the honor given to our President-elect, she had 8 to 10 minutes. We gave her a 3-minute bonus, so she got 13 minutes. For the evaluators, Hadi, you had 3 minutes. You took 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Samuel, for evaluating, you had 1 minute and 44 seconds. That is my report, Mr. General Evaluator.
Our odd counter, Ernst, how much did we make this morning?
At times I was thinking my position was superfluous. However, there was one person who made up for everybody.
Probably me. Take my wallet here.
It proved that Toastmaster is invaluable. Anyway, Sam, he had but, and, 5. Alex, I didn't hear any. 1. Gus, perfect. I'm not sure if I had some. I'm sure I had some. So put me down to 5. Erika, you had 1 so, 1 but, and 1 and a pause. John, I just heard 1 so. Julia, you had 2 ands and a little bit of a tongue click. I understand. Stephen, nothing. And Hadi, okay. 14 ahs, 2 so's, 1 but, 4 ands, 4 tongue clicks, and 1 pause.
That's superfluous.
And General Evaluator, that's my report.
And our grammarian, Stephanie.
All right.
About 20 times 5. $. Thank you.
Some grammar that needs a little fixing. Oh, just as a matter of formality, etiquette, or proper, Erika is still present until tonight. not
Good.
former,
Yes.
and after tonight should be referred to as an immediate past president, as opposed to former president. Erika, you were referring to Julia as the upcoming president, the incoming president. And Alexandra, so we can become better speakers instead of so we could be better speakers. Just a small thing. Is that all that I have? As far as colorful language, that's only John Zelensky is the only one. It's more like poetic license and that. Okay. Word of the day. Y'all murdered this word. Superfluous.
Superfluous.
I mean, I heard that.
Superfluous.
Ernst said it perfectly.
Oh, thank you.
Superfluous. But it was said by Alex, Erika a couple of times, Samuel, Gus one time correctly and one time a little questionable, Stephen. Anybody else? That's all I got. Everybody else, pay up. And that is my report.
It's only about half the group got to speak today. It's not surprising there weren't too many more.
I know. Try to incorporate these words, and even the ones from last week, I try to remember words that I hear here and to expand my vocabulary. You know, keep them.
For a general evaluation of the meeting itself, Alexandra gave us a little bit of information on etiquette there. Apparently we shouldn't be patting ourselves on the back, but yet that's exactly what we're doing at this meeting this morning. So we've had that warning nonetheless. There is a guest in the room, for those of you who kept skipping it. All sitting over here going, you're superfluous now, so you
Superfluous.
Sign them up so that you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Great title.
I'm the only one I can get here right now.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul, for bringing
Rich, I'm sorry we didn't find a way to get you to stand up and do anything.
I know it.
And I know how hard that is for you.
I'm the entertainment of the group, apparently.
Let's sign you up to speak next week, too, before we get you back into this.
Good. You got a
I
list
wrote my
on
name
here.
down to shut you guys up.
As a matter of etiquette, since that's what we're talking about, when crossing and exchanging at the lectern, the point is that whoever is exiting stage goes behind whoever is entering stage. That is very difficult when you're coming off to your right, because you have a tendency to shake right and to want to walk around that way. That up stage is the person coming up. You're supposed to go behind because the focus should be on the person coming in. With John, what you were doing for installation of officers, because of the dancing around, it's not possible to avoid something along those lines. We did that perfectly fine as best we could within the space available. I believe that is what I had listed for notes here. Since that finishes my job as general evaluator, I shall bring up our president, Erika B.
Upstage 50-50. I'm going to go ahead and give you my quarter because I haven't.
You don't have
had to pay
50-50
up in a
tickets for a
while.
quarter.
That was you. Who's gonna? How many dollars do we have in the 50-50?
So far, we only have $2, but now we have
While
double.
we're doing that, I just want to point out for those of you, we haven't had a budget report in a long time, but when I took over office, there were times where we had to prepay to cover the cost. A couple of years ago, they raised the fees for us to have this room. And they did, thanks to Stephanie's help, we have it tax-free. We're working on trying to get comped a little bit of the cost for having this room. And I'm proud to say that consistently for over 7 months, we have had a surplus consistently in the bank of $900. And that should be, I think, you know, you guys decide what your budget should be, but I think that the bottom of the barrel should be at least 500, and that should be your bottom of the barrel. And we still keep it tight, and I want to let you know that the 50-50 is a big contributor for this, so I want to make sure that you guys understand that I really appreciate it. Nothing wrong with a little gambling on a Tuesday morning. Yeah. So, upcoming meeting of July 7th. We have Toastmaster Ernst again. You volunteered to be Toastmaster? That is amazing.
Hey.
We have Rich speaking.
Okay.
Samuel, Hadi. We need a table topics master, general evaluators.
Table topics.
Table topics, Stephanie.
So we have 3 for 2.
Okay.
And 1 for
And we
1.
need some evaluators and a knock counter, a grammarian, and a timer. So you'll be getting emails from our Toastmaster and possibly our president. So chop chop.
I wrote down as Macarena because she's the backup for it, but the week of July 14th, I will be in North Carolina, so I will not be with you on that one. So we will need
I
someone
see.
for
Okay.
Sergeant Arms. I'm going to give her a call to make sure,
Okay.
but if not, I'll call her and we'll move.
Perfect. Any other commentaries?
It says Toastmaster.
Now let's have our guest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She made up for that. She made up for that. Smart.
We have $14 in it. It's $7.
7.
2301019.
019.
Hey! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
That is correct.
Thank you.
That is great. Thank you very much.
Any other
It's been a while.
commentaries? No? Thank you everyone. It's been a wonderful year. Have a blessed
Thank you.